I stopped driving a tow truck in 2006, and it's because, like I said, there's a dude named Looney from Mansfield, Ronnie Barron. I watched him grow up. He was little Looney, and he was facilitating a class over on Washington and Arlington. So he's at a school where my kids are going to the school right next door, and their grandmother lived on the other side of that school. So I'm like, man, this is my area, and this dude is commanding the presence of these high school students and talking to them like he was a college professor. So I was like, man, what is this? I didn't know that this is what Bo was doing. And they said, yeah, stop running from Bo Taylor. So that was it. I gravitated, and me and Monster sitting at the table, he's eating a sandwich. I'm like, man, we got to do this. And he's like, yeah, we got to do this. I'm like, man, let's do Unity 4. Nah, the 40's probably going to do Unity 4. Well, let's do something, man. We got to be part of this Unity group. And that's when it dawned on me about Second Call. And we started Second Call. And like I said, it was just to stop the violence, but it morphed into a whole lot of other things.
So Bo Taylor inspired you?
Oh, definitely. Bo Taylor and Ronnie Barron. Both of them rest in peace, but they both inspired me.
And you had no inspiration before that? Just seeing them in action, that changed your whole mindset, that one experience?
Yeah, it did.
Or were you already in a transitional stage of looking at peaceful resolutions?
Yeah, so I thought that because I could tow Lamborghinis, Ferraris, them cars that low to the ground and not mess them up, I thought that was my calling, that's what I'm good at. That's my best attribute to the world. But when I seen what they were doing with the children, and I got 12 kids of my own, 7 boys, I'm like, oh shit, I need to do this work, because shit, the life I saved may be my own or one of my children's.
So Second Call is the creation of Skipp and Monster.
Yeah, big Monster.
Where's Monster from?
20s.
Okay. So basically, American and Bo Taylor and them showed you the ropes.
Right, so I'm just watching them, working with them, and then in May, Monster had to go back to prison. He was out on bail. He went to court and they kept him. So now, shit, my partner's gone, so I had to do all the paperwork and all the leg work myself over the next 2 years, and I'm just following Bo Taylor and Jim Brown and working with them.
So who was your first target or project? What was your guys' mission statement, Second Call?
Just to save lives, to enhance the lives of individuals, give them that attention that they need. So my first set of group, I got my own kids, I got Monster kids. There was a family, the Walker family, so 16 of them. So I got the oldest sister. He said, so now I'm working just with the 20s. That's it, that's all. Working with the 27th Streets, the avenues, all the 20s. I'm putting them together. I'm getting buses for them. I went somewhere
Are you talking about the gang members or their kids?
Well, the kids was gangbanging. They was 17, 16. So, I mean, they parents was my age, but I'm grabbing everybody kids like, cause y'all the next shooters. Y'all tiny killer, baby shooter, all that. Come on, get in. Look, one punch, come on. Let's go riding. So I went somewhere in Hollywood and I seen Del Dog and Stutterbox, all the main streets showed up in like 3-4 bus loads, and they got out deep. And I said, damn, I want to do that with the 20s. So we went to football games, and I got the council member to get us the yellow buses, and we showed up deep at these football games. And it wasn't a gangbang, it was to show them different ways of life or whatever. But I wanted to be the one to expose them to other things. And because I didn't have no weed and no drink, and I didn't promote, let's get a room and, everybody, because I wasn't doing that, they stuck with me about 6-7 months. And they was like, oh, we cool. Skipp ain't doing shit.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So how do you regroup after that?
Well, I kept doing what I was doing, but by now I'm reaching out to other people. I'm working with Vicky, Lindsey in Compton. So now I met Sylvia Nunn. So I'm at Ludus Park with Sylvia Nunn before she passed away. I'm in Compton with Karen McGee from Campanella, so I'm meeting Slick, Taboo, and same way they was pushing Crip and Blood, I'm pushing Second Call. So come on, we're gonna do the Second Call Compton. And so I'm pushing all the peace that I could push everywhere I'm going. And then I met a dude, Big John, and he said, first of all, stop getting people jobs, let's get them careers. So now I'm in the construction trade, I'm meeting all these people, and it just blew up like the World Trade Center after that. It was just like...
So being part of a peace movement during wars, Were you getting any blowbacks from your homeboys from 20s? Like, Skipp, knock that shit off, nigga. We're not fucking with the 30s. We don't want to hear it, Skipp.
No, what happened was the 30s was looking at me. I walked in the Lil Den's office, and he looked, and he had 40s and 30s at the table because they was feuding, right? So they trying to save the King Parade. So when I walked in, once again, man, you the right dude, just the wrong time. Because I'm trying to stop them from fighting each other, but they gonna fight you if you come in here with all that red on. So I had to take a step back. And finally, Lil Den and Baby C Dog from 30s started testing me. They said, well, man, they say that you cool and all, but we really need Jimbo. All right, no problem. I'll be back in a half hour. Go get Jimbo. What you doing? Come go with me. Now his girl like, where y'all going? Y'all got some bitches. No, I need to take him somewhere. So we go over there. She come kicking the windows and shit, saying y'all got bitches in there. And I said, but y'all asked for him. This is what comes when he comes, right? So they like, all right, Jimbo, you gotta go, because she tripping, right? So then we take him back and they say, man, you need to get Flash. I'm like, well, Lil Flash in jail. I know that's what you're talking about. You ain't talking about Big Flash. So they say, yeah, we'll get Big Flash. So I go get Big Flash. He look around and he say, man, what the fuck they want with me? I said, man, we gonna do some peace shit. He said, Skipp, man, take me back to the hood. So they said, okay, well, you need to get one of the spooks. So they keep telling me who to go get. I keep getting them, man. When y'all gonna sit down and talk? You know what I mean? Because y'all keep sending me on these missions and I keep bringing back the people. So then I realized, oh, y'all testing me. Y'all just testing me. Y'all trying to see if I could do what's required. And then we started meeting and talking. Then Bloodhound said, man, come get me. And then Tick said, yeah, I'll go with you. So then we started having meetings in Bobby Broham's backyard and started the dialogue. And then Mad Ronald got out about maybe 7-8 months later. And he like, oh yeah, I'm with this. So yeah, I never got the pushback from the 20s until Nipsey died. When Nipsey died and I was over there, that's when people started pushing back from 20s.
That's late in the game to be pushing back.
Yeah, I done already saved y'all life and now y'all trying to take it back.
So there was never ever an official ceasefire or peace treaty between the Harlems and the 20s.
Yeah, so we met a few times and we, talked about maintaining it. We had reputable people. We had Choo Choo and Loon, Lil Den, Baby C Dog, D Mac.
Were you guys getting like grants and things from the city and working with the city and things of that nature?
I had a job working for Community Build, working on the grid project, but all the stuff we did was out of pocket. Second Call never got no money. Bobby Broham didn't get money to have us in the backyard barbecuing and stuff. Shit, we did it because we knew it needed to be done.
So there's a thing in the gang world where a lot of the gang members, active and older guys, look on gang interventionists with a suspicion,
right? Because
it's assumed that there's relationships with the city and the police and things of that nature. Have you ever been confronted with stuff like that?
Yeah, one of my homegirls said, oh, y'all don't know Skipp, he just doing this for money. I was in school at Trade Tech, and the teacher was like, oh, I'm so proud of what you're doing. And my homegirl said, man, y'all don't know Skipp, he doing this for money, and that ain't the case. So, in order to be an interventionist and work for the city, we do go to meetings and trainings with the mayor's office, with different professors and people who want to train us to be professional. The average guy who's good at stopping the violence can't really articulate a sentence, could not write a report or anything like that, So we go through training for different things like that, but you don't have to be an interventionist. You do not have to sit with law enforcement. You don't have to sit with the police. You don't have to tell the police nothing. If two guys are fighting and I go out there and I get them to stop fighting or whatever, I don't have to say what I did. All I have to do is say I responded. I don't have to say that, yeah, I told one of them, man, I'm gonna tell your mama to whoop your ass, and I told the other one, man, you're in violation, I'm gonna get your homies to beat you up. I don't have to say what happened, just that I responded and the fight stopped. So a lot of people think that we report to the police. We don't tell the police nothing.
What does the city want or expect from you guys?
Just to be there. So if we're there, they figure we'll know, who's in the crowd is gonna be the most, responsive, who's gonna be the one to start being violent. Say for example, there's a shooting on, say, Jefferson and Western. Well, they would want somebody from, who's from the community of the 30s to be there. But you imagine if the dudes on Jefferson and Western say, oh, it was the 20s, and now they go on Jefferson and Normandy and shoot somebody, they going to the same hospital. They right down the street, so they both going to California. What's going to happen in California hospital? It's going to be everybody going to be at war at the hospital. So they want individuals to be able to say, well, do we got relationship to the hospital to get a room upstairs? Do we have relationships to keep the family away from the hospital? How can we bring peace to this situation? Because the police can't bring peace. They just going to confront somebody and maybe
all in order.
Yeah, use of force, and then somebody might be dead. Somebody with a cell phone might be dead.
Explain. I heard these terms, but I'm not overly familiar with it. The grid and safe passage. What is all that?
All right. So safe passage is where people are outside of the school or outside of a funeral. They're outside and they're making sure that the community over there doesn't come jacking, taking cell phones, or shooting people, whatever it is, because they have a relationship. So when they see somebody who's coming, if they from that community, then they know, hey man, come here, man, what is you doing? No, you can't do this right here. Not at this school, or not at this church, not at this place, because they have that relationship. So safe passage is also for the students who are going home. Sometimes they're in school talking about after school, we gonna go and fight. So if you know that the kids normally go this way, go north to go home, and this day they all in the crowd going south, you could pull certain kids like, nah, you're not going. Matter of fact, I heard you was fighting, come go with me. So safe passage is making sure that the kids have safe passage home, safe passage to school, and even at funerals it's the same thing, making sure that there's safe passage, so people who are at a funeral and don't belong, some people might be looking like, man, I'm gonna hit that dude in the head as soon as I get a chance.
The nation kind of did that for Mike yesterday.
Right. But really, the nation it can only do so much. Really, it's individuals from that community,
right.
Even if they don't know they doing safe passage.
Well, a few of those dudes from the nation was from the neighborhood, so
okay.
It kind of worked out perfect.
Oh yeah, a little bank of tea, huh?
And Lawn Dog and a
okay.
few of those guys.
Okay.
The grid, what is that I hear about?
So the grid is gang reduction youth development. So that's just the city's name of taking intervention out of the hands of nonprofits and putting it inside the city's office so they can manage it. And that's what a lot of people talk about and they complain about, because intervention should be in every community, but it should be at the CBOs, the community-based organizations. But GRID houses everything out of their office. That's why people say, oh, you got to go through the city, this and that. And you do. You have to apply for the city to get the grant. And then you take that grant and, do that at your office. But the city oversees that, gang reduction, youth development.
A city without gang interventionists, how do you think this landscape would be right now without people like you and Draws and Bear Claw and people of that nature?
Well, I think the number one thing is there's certain people who do it anyway, with or without money. So if the grid froze up and started giving money back to the police, there's so many relationships to where when something happens, we call each other and we go sit down and talk. And everybody don't know it. It don't make the news, but shit, I was at Crenshaw High talking to Bear Claw the day before the funeral. You know what I mean? And shit, I'm on Vermont talking to Twin from Hoover about the developments that's coming on Vermont and how they ain't got nobody from Hoover. That for me would be opportunity to put somebody from Hoover and from Main Street to be working on this project together. That's how we start building relationships. So we have these conversations that people just don't know about, which actually save lives. And it don't make Channel 4, Channel 7, or 11.
So there is an underground network amongst the neighborhoods in LA.
Yes, indeed. It's an underground network. But then, of course, when somebody works for the grid, then the majority of the people say, oh, I don't trust them. They working with the people. Right. And it's the foolishness. But not knowing the life we save is yours. I want to save your life as much as I want to save mine. But there's so many people with the negative. Somebody hit me up, man. One of my homies hit me up and said, man, I've been doing this for years. Skipp, I do what you do. Why you don't ever mention my name? I'm like, man, what are you talking about? How are we having this conversation, man? I'm saving your life just like I want you to save mine, homie. But people get it twisted and think that, behind every interview there's $1 million. Can y'all make it clear y'all ain't giving me no $1 million? Or am I mistaken?
Shit, ain't no million to be made.
Right. But people think that though. They think, man, you own everything, man. They gave you at least 100,000. They gave you 50 or something. People just have that misunderstanding. The perception is different. So, You know, they see me out there doing the work and they think, oh, Skipp got to be getting paid. And I go into the schools and prisons.
Listen, so what if you are?
Right.
So what if you are?
But just to be clear, I go into the schools and the prisons for free. I only make money by doing domestic violence. So if you don't go to court and catch a DV case, I ain't gonna make no money. So shit.